Welcome to the Afterthoughts podcast. We have a special guest with us. Can you guess who it is? Is it this guy? No, you already know Ryan. You already know Doug.
Although I am on the other side of the table today.
Wow, because our special guest is this guy right here.
His
name is JJ. Can you guess
Howdy group.
who he is in relation to the podcast?
Orlando Bloom's brother.
That's right.
No, close.
Yeah.
Kayla, any guesses of who this is?
I was told to call him JoJo.
JoJo.
Totally cool.
Yes.
This right here is my brother.
That's right.
His name is JJ.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
That's
No
my
way.
brother.
Let's go.
So guess
brothers.
So guess
Dude,
what?
I didn't know that's how
Guess
you guys
what?
knew each other
Yeah.
this whole
We're
time.
not just buddies.
Yeah, so
Okay.
you guys
Yeah.
aren't the only people with a brother.
That's
Trying to
true.
burst
You guys
that
have
bubble.
always tried to make
But
it like
other
that.
people have brothers too.
This is culture shock.
This
Including
is.
Welcome
me.
to our
I may
world.
not. I'm processing this. I may not be present for this
Yes.
episode.
So I'll start by asking, how do you guys know each other?
Me and Ryan?
Yeah.
Well,
dude.
I came to say hi to you at church today, and he opened the door.
Okay.
Nice
and then
guy.
how do
Nice
you
guy.
guys know each other?
I came up to my office and he was
Yeah.
in the,
Okay.
In the office.
and then how do you know
Smart
Jacob and
TV.
how do you know Jacob and Caleb?
We all used to work together. Yeah. At Costco in Round Rock.
That's right. Oh yeah.
And you were the shift manager.
That's
Yes.
right. Yeah,
Yeah.
I hired them actually.
Oh,
You
yeah.
did?
What
Okay.
were their best attributes as employees?
Oof. Well, okay.
Hard workers or hardly working?
Oh,
No, I'll tell you.
Jacob would do the pizza cutter shape that they put over it really fast, which was
Oh
super
yeah, those guys
helpful.
do that.
It is.
It's
I
cool to
really
watch.
admire
It's
that.
very cool.
I really admire
Jacob's
that.
weaknesses, he works too hard. He
Too
cares
nice.
too much about his job.
He became my friend too fast today.
Yeah.
His
Too nice.
weaknesses are also his
strengths. I see what you did there.
Kayla,
Yeah.
any of at Costco? Did she ask a lot of questions there? She asked a ton of questions here.
She gave out the
We had
samples.
questions with Kayla at Costco years before whatever this is.
And
Yeah.
samples on
But
Sundays.
it would be like, hey, are the hot dogs still 150? Just
Yeah.
need to clear that up before I
Yeah,
run the
yeah,
register.
yeah.
And
You
they're
guys
not
aren't
gonna change
ever
that.
going to get rid of this pizza deal, are you?
Heck
Please say
no,
you're not going to.
no.
Well,
I
I will
worked in divorce,
say
I can't say.
the
Okay.
only
Yeah.
podcast from a brother's standpoint that competes with ours is the Kelce Brothers podcast.
I do
Right.
not like those guys.
And now we have taken first place. We have
Yes.
taken
That's
first
right.
place as the #1 brothers podcast.
We
right.
did it.
Yes.
Because
We've
they
done
only
it.
have one set of brothers,
And
but
this
we
is
now have two
They
sets.
hate
Double
us,
brothers.
man, trust
They
me.
all do.
Brothers.
We used to,
I'll just say it. I'll fight Jason Kelce.
Dude, I would
Jason
love to
Kelce.
see that.
I mean, I can't stand
Jason's
Travis
the cool
Kelce, but
one.
I'll fight both of them.
I wouldn't.
I was
mean,
going to take Jason because he's probably tougher, in my opinion.
Well,
I like Jason Kelce. Could do without Travis. I also,
Easily.
talking about fighting, I 100% believe I could take Patrick Mahomes in a fight.
Oh, yeah.
100%.
I was
make
just
it
talking
happen.
about how
Let's
much I
go.
don't admire him, but also the only time I've ever been in a true fight was on behalf of my brother.
That's right.
wait.
Tell that story.
What year
Okay.
was this?
I was in second grade.
Childhood.
It was
Okay.
the last time I ever got in a real fight.
Well, other than with each
Ethan.
other.
And Travis Kelce.
And Travis Kelce
Yeah,
in
yeah.
the future. Please, Travis, come find me.
So you're saying please?
Please fight me. Took the whole Chiefs. Ethan and I had spent the night at what I thought was my best friend Brian's house.
Okay.
And his younger brother Greg. I was trying to force Ethan and Greg to be best friends so we could all hang out, but Ethan was in kindergarten.
Brian.
So he was like not ready for a great friendship.
Brian and Greg, dude.
They were fine. And my mom was in a Bible study with their mom, Debbie.
Okay.
And Debbie and my mom were gonna have Bible study the next day, so they invited me and Ethan over.
Our
for
mom,
a
just for the-
sleepover.
just so you know.
No,
Our
yeah.
mom. I just
Same
call her my
parents, that's
mom
how this
because
Yeah, good brothers.
Did you guys
Yeah.
have Little Debbie's?
we didn't.
We
But
weren't allowed.
But his dad would
Our
eat
family
pork-
was not
couldn't.
allowed.
His dad, no, we weren't allowed to
Our
because we
mom
were
made us
vegetarian.
homemade fruit
vegans.
roll-ups.
But you guys had, you guys could have some oregano oil in your water.
100%. Or my mom straight up made hot or chocolate chip cookies with tofu in them. Our whole growing up.
Yep.
They had tofu in them?
Yeah.
Is that it?
No joke. Call her.
I did not know that.
Call her on your stupid
Oh,
phone.
yeah. I'll call her. You keep
Yeah.
telling the story.
So they were.
Also, Ethan just called it tofu.
Yeah, dude.
It is tofu.
He doesn't.
Tofu.
Know.
What do you-
He struggles with
Oh.
tensing.
The accent was.
He's always
the
had a
emphasis.
hard
Our
time
family
with
always
tensing.
called that cereal Cashy, too. And Steph,
Yeah, Cashy.
Really
Shout
never
out.
lets me stop
We
hearing
ate
about
Cashy
that.
before it was cool. Anyway,
tofu.
You guys ate
said
a
yes.
lot of
Yeah.
things
Yes.
before they were
yeah,
cool.
Okay.
Andy Matott. So, my Debbie was gearing up for Bible study next morning after the sleepover.
Yeah.
Brian's dad ate an orange with the rind on it, which I was like,
Okay.
Like, this is a big day.
You said you have a bad memory. How do
Yeah.
you remember that?
because that's a standout moment, one of the weirdest things I've ever watched an adult do.
He ate it with the ride.
Yeah, he was like trying to be cool about it. Like, oh yeah, you absolutely should
Like,
do it
straight
like this.
through.
I was
How,
like,
how old were you at the time?
What?
I was in second grade. So
Yeah.
Do you
like,
think that he thought it was an
7?
apple and then
You're
he
like,
just
I'm
was
7,
embarrassed,
but
so
you
he just
shouldn't
played
do
it
that.
through?
Yeah,
I
I'm only 7, but this is honestly. I was also the kid at sleepovers that would get up and go ask the other parents to comfort me or whatever I needed, like rather than just suck it up because I'm not at home. I remember getting up and be like, Brian's mom, I can't sleep. And she's like, this is out of my league. Like, I don't want to be a part of this. And now as a parent, I can't imagine.
I can
like,
vouch for that.
okay,
He was that kind of kid.
Okay, Jerry, like you got to go back to bed. We can call your mom.
Are you digesting that orange okay?
I'm just worried about the orange peel in your stomach. So anyway,
You had your parents come get you because you weren't allowed to watch that movie.
I did do that. Liar, liar. That was
No,
later.
you
in
didn't.
my life. I
Yes,
was
he did.
6th grade.
Dude, and
I
the
was
movie
like,
was literally Liar,
And my
Liar.
dad would always tell that
Yeah.
story like, I've never been prouder than JJ. And
Look
he'd just
at
kind
him.
of stare at me while he was telling the story like,
yeah,
haven't-
Dad, I
haven't
watched
seen you
Liar,
do
Liar.
something
Yeah, I got so worried.
And he never did.
I need to call my mom and ask if I can watch this. And all my friends are like, you should just go home. Just walk home, dude. We don't want you here. Anyway,
So you're gonna call your mom?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then a kid opened
We'll
a glow
call a
stick.
cab for you right now.
A kid got opened a glow stick that
Before
same
Uber.
night.
Way to
got
place
it
that
all
in
over
time.
himself.
There were not-
and
it was
this
not
other
Uber back
kid's
then, it
dad
was cab.
It
jumped
was cab,
over the
thank you.
banister to try to help him, I guess, which was really dramatic. Anyway,
Hey man,
Back
just
to-
take
all
the
that-
2 seconds to go down the stairs.
all that to
honestly,
say.
he's fine. He ate a little glow stick goo.
So
He was
Ethan's
already
Ethan's
kinda
in a
off.
fight.
No. So
No.
what happens is me and
I didn't start this
Ethan
fight.
and Brian and
It's okay
Greg
if you did.
were playing in the basement.
Many, but not this one.
This was all on me. This was the moment of valor for me to stand up for my kindergarten brother. We were playing in the basement after the sleepover, after I had asked Brian's mom for help in the middle of the night. And I don't know what came over Brian, but he shoved Ethan as hard as he could into their giant water heater, you know, those big circle water heaters. And Ethan, like
Picture
the-
me, but like I was a nice kid.
very weak.
You would actually feel bad for me in this
Okay.
moment.
pretty
Okay.
pretty sad, and hurt his back and just started crying and like fell down and and I don't know what
It's
happened,
embellished.
but I like this rage came over me at 7
Yeah.
years old, and
Yeah.
and Brian was quite a bit bigger than me, and I knocked him down. And I just started punching. I was on top
wail-
of him, punching
wailing
him in the
him.
face, like
yeah.
Christmas Story style.
Yeah.
just let it
Yeah.
just
like that.
have it. So I'm
Yeah.
just beating him up, like truly.
Okay.
And he had a younger sister as well, Amy, I think her name was. And Amy
They
is
probably
like,
watch. Now they're like,
is
they're talking about our
5.
family.
Yeah, like, this
You
is super
literally
messed
said
up.
all
You
of
just
our
doxed
names for no
whole
reason.
family.
You know,
I never said their last name. That's why I said
Don't
Brian's
say their
mom.
last name. Yeah.
Anyway, Amy opens the door and she's like, "Guys, breakfast." And then she's like, and she goes, "Mom, JJ's killing Brian." And I'm just rabid. Just
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
lose track. I don't know what
Yeah.
Greg did.
Even I was like, okay, man.
He's already dead.
It was
I fell out.
it was mean, but we've taken it too far.
So
now.
Debbie comes down, pulls me off of Brian.
Yeah.
And her solution is, let's sit in a circle and pray.
Yeah.
And I'm so mad. She has to hold me down while she's praying because I want to get back at Brian for hurting Ethan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then my mom came over right after, and I had to explain it.
yeah.
And
Our parents were like,
she was like, in the moment, like, "Oh yeah,
Shouldn't do
that's
that.
good." And then we got in the car, and she was
Yeah.
like, "Thanks for standing up for Ethan."
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
said, "Well, he's
And
not
then
standing up for himself,
our
He
dad.
sure
Our
isn't.
dad was
and he never
thrilled.
will."
Oh,
I
yeah,
bet
Justin was
Justin
pumped.
Oh,
I got
Love
to raise him
that.
my allowance.
Yep.
I thought you were
then-
gonna get
then we
slapped
pretty
with an
much-
orange
That's
peel.
That dude wasn't home.
He wasn't?
He was a hard
Okay.
worker, so
Yeah.
he was out
He was
eating orange peels at
Oh
work.
man.
Making ends
Yeah.
meet.
Anyway.
Then we just fought a lot.
Then we just fought.
us.
And Ethan
pretty
was-
much through like until we were in high school. Then
That's
we kind
right,
of stopped
yeah.
fist fighting.
Because then we were like, hey, we could just be friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Well,
also,
we still
Ethan
were
was
friends.
super prone to get bloody noses. So every time I'd hit him in the face, even
Yeah.
lightly, he'd get a bloody
Yeah.
nose. And I'd just be like, you don't need to tell mom. Like, it's no worries. It's no worries. It's no worries.
I did get a lot of bloody noses. I once broke JJ's glasses because I punched him right in the face in the glasses.
We were playing hockey inside.
and his glasses broke. And in the moment, we both realized this was going to be bad, and we both cried about
both
it.
cried.
Did you ever get a? It's so good, man. Did you ever get a bloody nose at a really embarrassing time or inopportune
I
time?
got a bloody nose every day for a year straight.
Yeah,
Like
I've been on
eighth
that track too.
Grade maybe.
Yeah, that was when I was
So,
an
yeah.
adult, though.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's good. I don't
It's
think
like
it's
heading
good.
into school, first day
Yeah,
of school.
at school.
Like,
Oh yeah,
Hanging out with friends, like, yeah, got a little bloody
anytime,
nose.
anytime.
wow. Sorry,
Real
guys.
quick.
It's a genetic thing.
Yeah.
There's
no.
a perfect segue into.
Speaking of bloody noses.
We have the Colorado Rockies hats.
Yeah.
Real quick for a
Week.
sports moment.
Oh, Rockies.
Todd Helton is going to be inducted into the Hall of Fame.
Come on.
Let's go, Todd.
That is not a common occurrence for people who play for the Colorado Rockies.
no.
So we have
Great
3
to
hats
see.
up here in honor of, as they called him, the Todd Father. And these were sent by Jeff Atkinson. Thank you, Jeff. Congratulations to you and to us and to Todd.
And to Todd.
Also, we are down to 4 teams remain. Let's do quick predictions with JJ.
Wait,
A
also,
segment.
did you guys have neighbors who got 2 dogs and named one of them Todd?
Yeah, Todd and
Todd
Amy.
and Amy.
Todd and Amy.
Not the
That's
same
what-
Amy as Brian's sister.
And then,
This is not,
Right.
but
No.
maybe named after.
Breakfast is ready.
Maybe named
Amy.
after that Amy.
Todd and Amy, and then one of the dogs, they were older, one of them got sick, so they put both dogs
dogs
down, got a new dog named Brandon.
Yeah.
That's right.
Huge move.
So you can name your dog literally anything that you want.
Any human name.
And you went with
Todd and
Brandon.
Amy and
Okay.
Brandon.
NFC Championship,
Yeah.
Lions 49ers.
Well,
Everyone wants the
Lions.
Yeah.
To win. I don't know. I feel like the 49ers are going to be hard to get through. But then that last game was
They
surprisingly
don't
not.
have Debo. Could
But
be.
they were.
I'm going to say Lions.
I like that.
Yeah.
I would love for Dan Campbell to adopt me, be my dad.
Sure.
And I'll just be friends with dad.
I don't think he.
I'll still
I don't
hang
think
out with
he
him.
cares.
Yeah,
Okay,
you're 37. Doesn't matter to me, man.
Yeah, that's
Move
fine.
on.
I believe you.
Go be
Yeah,
go be
so
JJ Campbell.
Probably. So JJ Campbell's picking the 49ers, you think? But you want to be adopted
Logically,
by
I'll
Dan
say
Campbell.
49ers, but in my heart, the Lions.
And then
Yep.
to
and
win the
then
Super Bowl.
the Ravens, Chiefs.
We're all picking
Well,
the
What's the
Ravens, right?
conspiracy with the
Gosh.
logo for the Super Bowl?
Purple and red.
The colors the last few years have been of the Super Bowl logo. Then it ended up being the main colors of the teams.
Yeah,
that played in
yeah,
it. And
that's
this year
right.
it's purple and red, so it'd be 49ers Ravens. We all want the Ravens because the Chiefs are the
nobody
worst
likes the
part of
Chiefs
the
more than
NFL.
anything.
Nobody likes the Chiefs.
So we're going Ravens Lions is our hope, but it's probably going to be Ravens 49ers.
But then I saw today.
But if
there's
the
another.
Chiefs win, you're going to fight Travis Kelce.
Oh, I'm going to Kansas City, and it's over for everybody.
Yeah.
The whole team.
Oh,
I'll take them
man.
one at a time.
Please.
That's Maybe you'd be fine.
Except Isaiah Pacheco.
guys-
I
those
think
guys
he's a
aren't
cool
very
dude.
strong.
He seems
No.
like a cool dude. Great at running the ball. But I want to say one more thing about this. I just read when we landed in Austin that there's a conspiracy about the head ref for this AFC game.
That's right.
Really?
And that normally the team that's home does not win when he's there. And they think it's a conspiracy to get the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. And if
it's
that happens,
like-
I'm fighting that ref too.
It's like
Fight him.
60%.
I would start there.
Yeah. Okay.
Better
I'll
shot
warm up
than
with that
fighting
guy.
Jason or Travis Kelce is fighting that
Yep.
ref. Unless it's
Yeah.
Ed Hockley, that ref that was
Not that guy.
super
There you
ripped.
go.
That was jacked.
Super ripped.
Yeah.
Well, every time we have a Brothers podcast,
Yes.
we like to play a little game. Kayla, what do we got today?
Yes. Hello. Welcome.
Thank you, Kayla. Welcome to you also.
Thank you. Welcome.
And also with you.
Yeah. Thank you so much. So in honor of the 23rd episode, Michael Jordan.
23rd episode.
Yes.
The
I
goat.
can't believe I'm here for this.
The
Yes.
greatest episode of all
What a god
basketball
wink.
players.
Michael Jordan.
What a God
we
week.
hear you, God.
If you were an NBA star, who would you be and why?
Oh, questions with Kayla first.
I was just hitting
Okay.
straight into.
Oh, we're doing the game first.
Well,
Oh,
It's-
Already in the
it's-
question.
All right.
It's your
how
show.
about we do a question, game,
game.
question?
Ooh,
Yeah.
fun.
The sandwich.
If you will.
Love it.
Ethan never
I will.
got to make any
Okay.
decisions.
If
when
we
were
were-
kids,
I would
'cause
like
he's
to.
an older brother, so he loves to be able to make a call.
Yeah,
And,
dude.
let him have it.
Decide something, man.
Just regretting this decision.
Yeah.
The question
He's the Travis of the family.
Yeah.
man.
for the first time today, I watched a little bit of that, and the thing that bothers me, which is a lot of things, but he just has to drop the F word constantly.
Yeah.
I'm like, you know that kids watch this, dude.
Come on, man. Come on,
Travis
man.
Kelce.
He's
Sorry,
he's
Michael
also
Jordan.
super annoying.
Michael
All right.
Jordan,
Really?
star of Space Jam.
Yeah,
That's fair.
That's not maybe the first thing he's known for, but
Sure.
In our house right now, that's the first
same,
thing he's
for
known
sure.
for.
We're in a
It's
big
the
Space
only
Jam
thing
phase.
he's
Yes.
known for.
Yeah.
as parents of kids, that's right.
How he, yeah.
Greatest basketball player of all time.
Okay.
Yeah.
No debate. All right, go ahead.
Oh, all right. Now let's play a game.
No, what's the question?
Oh, that was the question.
What it was?
Who's
repeat
the
the
best
question?
basketball player of all
She
time?
did. If
Oh.
you were,
If we could be
didn't
any
hear it.
basketball player from history,
Yes.
who would we be?
Oh.
Reggie Miller.
if we could be,
Yeah.
or who are we most like?
Who would you want to fight, JJ?
Dennis Rodman.
Really?
Dennis Rodman.
I just
guy's
go
scary.
way above, just
Yeah.
put
yeah.
myself in the worst situation, like with Brian. He was probably 6 feet tall in second
You
grade.
just said his last name. We got to bleep that out. Sorry. Okay.
Yeah, if
Give
you were
more
like a
details about
player,
it. Me,
yeah,
any
if
player.
you were them, you are them.
Yeah, I'm going Reggie Miller.
Nice.
Man, Rick Smits, man.
Yo,
If you're Reggie Miller, I'm Rick
dude.
Smits.
You
Let's go,
guys,
bro. Come on.
that's so nice.
Way to go.
Yeah.
I like
Good
that.
brothers move.
Thanks, man.
Ethan was always John Stockton, and I was Carl Malone.
The mailman.
That's
Yeah.
right.
That's what happens when you're the younger brother.
That's right.
I guess
Yep.
I'll be John Stockton.
I guess I'll just pass you the ball.
feed you the rock. I'd be Shaq.
Dude.
Yeah.
I'd be
when
I'd-
he dunked and pulled the entire basket down.
Love
And
that.
broke some backboards. Yeah. Shaq.
I'd be Muggsy Bogues because I'm not very tall.
Such a good call.
Okay.
But I'm great at
You could
basketball.
be in this. You could be in this
I
hypothetical
know.
situation. Yeah,
That's right. You could have picked Sean Bradley.
or Sean Kemp because I
Sean
love
Kemp. Well,
Seattle
I think he got into
Supersonics.
some-
Any basketball
never
player in,
mind.
in NBA history, but you have to be their height.
Yeah,
Lost
yeah.
track of him when the
In
Supersonics
Space
folded.
Jam, Muggsy Bogues, when they
That's
all get
right.
their powers, he's like, well, at least y'all are tall. Now I'm just another short guy.
See,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
my life.
But then he gets his powers back, and you remember how good of a dribbler
He's
he
We
was.
so good for that.
we've
He
been
was
watching that movie a lot.
What a
but
great
Will,
movie.
Will has such a technical mind, and he just can't. He's like, Dad, how do they? So they get the powers, they get the talent from these
In the
NBA, and,
basketball.
and it's in a basketball. How does it get in the basketball? How does it stay there?
Science.
How does it support that kind of like energy? How do they? And I'm like, buddy, you're missing the point of the movie.
I think we're
no idea.
yeah.
Looney Tunes.
That's
this
so
is
great.
That's
This is not real.
That's the only part of this movie that doesn't make sense to you right now.
There's one part that's unrealistic.
This is all fine, but
But the powers in the ball.
so
I'm
little
gonna stay away
unrealistic.
from golf holes.
I did
So
text.
I don't get sucked down them into Looney Tune world.
That's right, because that
So great that they had Bill
But-
Murray in that movie.
I did
Yeah,
ask
Bill
Ethan.
Murray,
If,
he's
took
the
it over the
best,
top.
man.
I asked Ethan if maybe the Philadelphia Eagles got space jammed,
It felt like it.
and that's what happened to them.
Sure felt like
And
it.
now there's an alien football team coming.
Yeah.
That's gonna
And
play
they're
in
gonna-
the Super Bowl.
They're going to
They're
play in
gonna
the
play
Pro
the
Bowl.
Manning.
The flag football game in the Pro Bowl.
And Peyton Manning's gonna come back from retirement.
Who's watching that?
Is there any adult that wants
Hey,
to watch
it's
flag
great that you
football?
asked that question
Hey.
because obviously we're all excited about Space Jam,
Yeah.
but also for JJ's 23rd birthday.
Oh, man.
We drove to Fort Collins and threw him a Michael Jordan themed birthday
I
party.
love
Dude,
that.
That's right.
That's great.
It's top like 10
That was a
nights
fun night.
I
of
almost
all
got in a
time.
fight that night.
There we go.
That's
Okay.
right.
Yes,
That's
let's
right.
hear about that.
I kind of
guy
wish I did.
This guy just picked Doug out at a party and just didn't like him.
Didn't like.
Oh, yeah. And then
You were super trashed from all the Gatorade we had drank at the party.
We did do a
those small
Gatorade.
bottles,
We did a
just drink.
Gatorade All Stars chugging
it was a
challenge.
whole
we did,
tournament.
man.
Gatorade.
That was very
But
fun.
we did not get in a fight. Almost.
No.
Almost.
We talked our way out of it.
Kind of wish we did.
Very
We took-
civilly.
we
Have
took
you
the
ever
high
seen
road.
We took the high
Space
road.
Jam?
Hey man.
How do you think the power got in the ball? And he was like, "That's a great question." And then the fight was
Yeah.
diffused.
That's a great tactic. It's like anybody
And
does.
then we
Oh,
played
yeah.
1-on-1.
Kayla, you said there's a game?
Flag football
Yes.
101.
Okay.
Kayla's
We
got
have a game, and
Okay.
it's Battle of the Brothers.
Oh,
Yes.
I hope it's
Ryan?
Over.
I
Let's
hope-
go.
I hope it's
Ryan
wrestling.
grabbed the whiteboards and markers.
Okay.
Pass
There
them
we go.
around.
Oh yes.
Oh, Ryan, did you already know about this?
yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I've been
this is-
studying.
Do each team has one marker?
No, you each get your own marker.
Okay.
Oh, there's more. I
Yeah.
see.
Oh, there's more.
Hey, cool
And
pink
your
marker,
own
dude.
tissue if you
I
need
knew.
it.
Yeah.
All right.
There you go.
Oh,
thanks,
Ethan's so above that.
There you go.
Okay.
So much
Okay,
better.
so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna ask you guys some questions.
Okay.
And you're gonna try and
I'll be shocked
make
if we
sure
lose
that your
this.
board that you're writing down is the same.
Me and
so,
Ethan?
Yes.
We're trying to come up with the same answer.
Yes.
Yeah.
Who
You're,
has greater?
Yeah.
Brother knows best.
Ethan and I
Yes.
used to play the game
That's
where
what
we
they
tried
would
to
have
say
called
the
this
same
in the
word at the
90s.
same time.
But our culture
and
has
we never
gotten more
did it.
violent.
So
Battle of the Brothers.
Well, then you're
Yeah,
not going to
well,
win this.
yeah.
After JJ's fight
Yeah.
story. All right, you're going to ask us a question. We try to get the same answer.
Yes.
But we can't look.
right.
Okay.
Yeah. So make sure your board is hidden, JJ.
You, have a,
Yes, yes.
you know how to
Yes.
use a marker?
Just found out.
It's a new
This
thing.
is a Texas thing, these kind of markers?
Yeah.
man. Welcome. Thank you.
Okay, first one. Since everybody's from Colorado, who is the bigger Colorado sports fan? Any, including all sports. All right, 1, 2, 3, show. Okay,
Yeah.
good job, good job. All right, let me keep
All right,
track.
all
All right,
right, here we go.
one,
because JJ's also a Bills
One.
fan.
Yeah, that's right.
All right.
We didn't talk about that, but I don't want to
Good.
talk about that.
No, sorry.
good.
We
okay,
talked about that on the podcast
Yeah, I
last
heard,
week.
I heard you guys just subtly roast
You
me.
come up a lot.
I sure do. I only came to talk about John Tesh.
Darth Ribbit. It's on the podcast. Darth Ribbit, we don't know if you're actually JJ or not.
yeah.
But we love you.
We do. We're grateful
Next
for you,
question.
man. Okay,
Next
go.
one. Who was cooler growing up? All right. 1, 2, 3. Show it.
Absolutely no contest.
Younger brother striking. Let's
go.
Because older brothers have to work on knowing so much more wisdom.
There was
so
a
we
phase
couldn't
where
use-
JJ wore these orange parachute capris that
Yeah.
went like down.
Honestly,
Almost to
kids
his
these days
ankle.
would probably wear those.
Oh, yeah.
'Cause
That's actually probably true.
Everybody
Oh, yeah.
that's a teenager now looks like they
You can
live
see
in
Justin
Gotham City.
Bieber would wear those right now.
100%. They were not cool. I was not cool.
The definition of cool has
Next question,
changed.
Kayla?
Next one.
Yeah.
All right. Who has better hair?
Ooh.
Let's say who had long hair first.
But better hair?
Yeah. All right. 1, 2,
Did you guys have the
3,
same haircut?
go.
We do.
Oh, we all got
Okay, we all picked ourselves.
We think we're better.
This is just an exercise in
pride.
confidence.
Whether we
confident,
should be or
sure,
not,
sure.
we're all incredibly confident.
Yes,
right.
that's good. That's a good
Yeah.
thing.
Still 2-2.
No.
But
Yes.
hey, we weren't when we said we were not cool as kids.
Oh, that's right.
That's,
No.
you were humble.
That's just humble.
Yes.
That's humility.
honest.
That's
All right.
That's honesty.
Next one. Who is more annoying growing up?
More annoying.
Yeah.
Dad.
Who was more annoying?
More annoying.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
Give you guys a few seconds.
What if
it's like
never got into a fight? Ever.
All right.
What is it?
Yeah.
Ryan, I'm just saying this
1,
'cause I
2,
think you're
3.
saying it.
Okay.
Yes.
It was easily.
Okay. All right.
We're
Yeah.
good. We're good.
I
We're
felt
good.
Okay.
like you were nicer.
Oh, we pulled ahead.
Hey, let's go.
Nice.
I chirped a lot more, so I felt like I was probably more annoying.
I think of all the annoying stuff I did though.
All right.
That's true.
Okay.
A lot of
Straight
annoying
through
stuff.
annoying.
So Ryan,
for
you got
20
voted, huh?
years.
Yeah.
Sorry, man.
Well, we're up 3-2, so I'm sorry to you.
You're not annoying anymore. I don't know what you were like then.
Well,
But
thanks,
Yeah.
man.
super good.
All right.
Super good.
Who did better in school?
Oh.
Ooh.
I don't know.
All right. 1, 2, 3.
Yes. Okay.
There you go.
Wait, really?
Oh, dude. I just said the quote. I never knew what that was like to get an A on a math test to my kids because they are doing great. And I was like, what's that like?
I didn't know that.
That's so cool.
was more
And
good-
Ethan
he
was
was
like,
good
I
at
don't
art.
even have to
AP
study.
stat.
I just got an A. That's what his voice sounded like till about 2 years ago.
Well, tell like I was 17.
That's actually true.
That's true.
All right. This one's a little personal one. Who brushes their teeth the longest?
Can't think of any time you brushed your teeth. Not like
We
that you
shared a
don't.
bathroom our entire childhood.
All right. 1, 2, 3.
All right, you said that? Yep.
All right.
I don't know if Ethan said it. He likes going by E-Man.
Dude, he's been trying to say that for 23 episodes.
It's Pastor E-Man.
Hey guys, this week Pastor E-Man's here for week 3 of our series.
$30, please.
Yes.
30 bucks.
To call him Pastor E-Man?
Pastor E-Man.
Done.
All right.
Yep.
They'll do it for free.
Yep.
Next question.
All right. Who takes the longest, or who did take the longest to get ready growing up?
Oof.
Well, this depends on the season of
It
life.
sure does. This depends on
Yeah,
long hair
yeah,
season.
Yeah.
I'm
All
just
right. 1,
gonna
2, 3.
throw myself under. Did you say that? Oh, man.
Yes, we're back to
Okay.
All
Dang it.
right.
I didn't see that. I thought you were just like,
Dang it.
I'm good.
that. Who's coolest?
I straightened my hair when I was an emo kid, so
Right.
that
That's
took
right.
a long time.
Let's throw up a picture of that.
Heck yeah, dude, I knew we were
Oh, we
made
can
to
get
be
a, we can
friends.
get a picture.
You
of that.
straightened your hair, Jacob?
Oh, for a long time.
You
Really?
did?
All middle school.
Dude,
Wow.
let's take a
way.
picture of that of you and me
And he has
side
the
by
black
side.
hair.
Jacob
Yeah,
and JJ.
Yeah.
Did you guys ever take a picture back in the day together?
Oh yeah, well we were always hanging out.
Yeah.
Oh, but
I
at
would borrow
Costco.
Jacob's
Did you
straightener.
guys get your straighteners at discount? At
He was
Costco?
Greg's little brother.
We would straighten our hair at Costco before shift started.
Caleb would ask questions about.
Are you guys, the question would be, are
In
you guys
the-
ready? We gotta
Which-
open this shop.
Yeah.
With Costco hair straighteners.
That's
Okay,
right.
next one.
We're gonna open the shop.
All right.
Dude, this week's questions with Kayla are such like targeted questions.
Very turned
Yeah.
up.
I'm gonna use this cleanest to cry soon because I just got swept on being lame as a kid.
Do you have any questions that are like Matats or Wekenmans?
Oh,
And we can all try to guess?
Whoa.
Okay, first
so
finish what you
scary.
got.
That's so
I
scary.
don't, but now I'm going to think.
The game's tied.
Who is currently the bigger foodie?
Foodie?
Yeah. Who loves food more? All right. 1, 2, 3, go.
Yeah. Specifically because of ice cream.
Heck yeah.
Ice cream?
Mostly just steak. All
You're just
snacks.
getting so good at all these meals you're making.
Yeah, JJ always has a lot of interesting snacks.
Love
and
to
ice
eat.
cream.
Love to eat food.
All right.
I almost said you because there's probably nothing you'd rather have right now than any food.
I'm so hungry, dude.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Just so hungry.
Dude, I am as well.
All
You
right.
guys have snacks on this podcast?
No.
No, we should do that next time.
Well, soon we might have some AG1 though. What?
Right?
They
What?
responded to us
Oh,
on
yeah.
Instagram.
Oh,
yeah.
We
Oh,
applied
now we're
for
gonna
a
talk about it.
sponsorship. Everybody pray.
Did we apply for it?
Yeah.
Come on, AG1.
Yeah. We love you guys. Who got into the most trouble growing up? All right, ready? Go.
Easy baby.
What?
Easy baby.
Oh, no.
Yeah, we're on one.
Oh boy.
Ethan, Ethan cleaned up on that one.
Maybe.
It wasn't even a second
We didn't
thought.
get into a lot of
By
trouble.
far.
We didn't get
until
into a lot of
high
trouble.
school.
Oh.
High school, you probably got
After
in
we
trouble.
got in that fight,
we
you just took the
didn't get
torture
caught
man.
for nothing. We did.
Felt like
Mom
no,
and Dad, in case
I
you
was
see
licensed
this.
Yeah.
in there.
Hey guys,
Yeah.
gotta do this.
Yeah. And then once you went to
All right, we
college,
got
I
it, we
had
got it.
no
All right.
accountability.
No, that's true.
Okay.
Mom and Dad are like,
Tark is
feel
weird.
free.
Yeah,
It's in
we're-
person.
this
I
kid's
know.
always kind of sucked.
All right.
Honestly, who cares?
I'm running out of questions.
Honestly, me and Ryan are like, it could have gone every single question. You could write Doug or
Either
Ryan.
way.
That's sweet.
It's like
Very similar.
I like that.
same grades,
Just pretty neutral
same-
guys.
Took the
Stand
same
out
amount of time
everywhere.
getting ready.
Stands out,
dudes.
Same hair.
Your questions aren't the problem, Kayla. We are the
Was that
exact
last
same
question,
person.
or-
I have one more.
Oh,
But this one counts for
All right.
this one counts double.
Yeah.
Okay, fine.
Winner takes all.
I don't care. What's the prize?
Snacks.
You get to have lunch with Todd Helen.
I was gonna say Todd Helton.
Yeah.
All right. This is
Todd
kind of,
Helton
this
calls
is,
Ethan E-Man.
Twice.
I'll give you $30, Todd Helton.
That would not bother me. Here we go.
All right. This is kind of a callback to one of our episodes.
Oh, JJ watches religiously. He's obsessed with
Of what? This show?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
seen-
What's your favorite episode, man?
The John Tesh part.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's so good. I turned it way up on that part. They're talking about my guy Tesh.
Oh, that was good. Yeah.
I turned it off.
Who loves space more?
Space?
Yeah.
Oh.
All right. Go.
That's easy.
Oh, it's
Big
a
time
tie.
space.
That's an older brother thing.
Oh yeah, dude. I love space.
Because
man.
we're older brothers.
Yes.
Oh, dude.
Dude, space.
You have to
space
do
is
that.
boring, dude.
Yeah, dude. I'm more of an
let's get-
underwater guy.
Let's get tacos and talk about space.
Love to.
I'm more of a gravity guy. Great game,
That's what you
Kayla.
got.
I got.
That
That's
was
all I
great.
got.
I loved it.
Good job,
I've been to the
guys.
moon.
Congratulations
Yeah.
to us for winning.
Yeah.
Technically, though, we have been brothers longer because I'm older than Ryan.
That's true.
That's true. And I'm
Yeah.
older than Doug.
We've
Yeah,
always
but
looked up to
it
you
really
guys.
doesn't
I'm older than all
matter.
of you.
That's true. You are the
you
oldest.
know that?
Well,
That's true.
yeah.
That's how it
That's
works.
why I always call you and go, wait, what's it like being older?
I know.
Let's do
I'm like,
one
let
more
me tell you
question
some
because
stuff.
we're already over 10 minutes in, so we gotta keep going.
Yeah.
Because I took 30 minutes to explain how I got in a fight
Dude, we're
on
just
your
giving
behalf.
the people what they want.
We're just
This is what the
in the
people
video.
want.
Give the
We're
people
just
what they want.
Getting started.
Yes.
That's
All right. My last question. If you won the lottery, what would you do?
Won the lottery. How much?
Ooh.
What's the
I
total?
don't know. It's probably in the billions.
Do you have
A
this
bill-
like
let's say $1 billion.
itemized?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that
billion?
a million
Ethan
is
has a
different than a
spreadsheet.
billion. Let's all acknowledge
let's
that.
say 100
You
million
won the lottery.
Yeah.
after taxes. 100 million.
Is it 5 billion? No.
No.
$100 million.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
That's after taxes. Hopefully, after taxes.
Yep.
Sure.
Okay.
Not after
I think
Texas.
the point of
You
this
still
is you
live
have
in
a lot of money. What do you do with it?
Ooh.
Does our
Good to have an older guy here to help
Yeah,
us
yeah,
kind of
yeah.
get
We'll,
to the.
we'll understand that when we're older.
When you guys get older, you'll have heard a few other podcasts that I've listened to about financial
Yeah,
stuff.
man,
I have a bank account.
The economy.
Everyone has to just pick one.
Bidenomics.
Just pick one thing. Just
First
pick
thing I'm
one
doing-
thing, and it's
First thing I'm doing is ultimate vacation with all my friends to
Ultimate.
Hawaii.
Nice.
And
Nice.
we're going all out and the best food.
Does JJ get to go?
And JJ's gonna be there.
cool.
And every night we're gonna have a wisdom with JJ, the older JJ,
wow. Yeah.
like the sage
Do you
kind of
Are you
moment.
gonna give me a giant check for doing that? Since you're a billionaire.
And it's the least I can
I
do.
appreciate that.
And like good healthy food on the beach every night, and we
Wow.
just have a blast.
Okay.
nice. Good
And we
job.
do home run derby and Todd Helton shags balls.
And speaking of
Yeah.
that, I won a couple billion when I won the lottery, and I buy the Rockies.
Oh,
and I am
that's
the
sweet.
owner of the Rockies.
That's great. That's actually
And
a
I
great answer.
They
finally
need
turned
you.
that franchise around.
Yep.
If we get
Can we
sponsored
all-
by
can we
AG1,
all-
that may become a reality that this podcast could purchase the Rockies.
JJ,
Will
you
hire
have
us all to work for
from
the
the
Rockies?
Monforts.
Well,
Oh,
you-
yeah, you guys
Cool.
got
Thank you.
jobs.
Thank
you have your
Yeah.
application
They're
in
kinda-
to play for
Can I
the
be the
Rockies.
third
I've
base
been
coach?
waiting for years to play.
You're trying to be
Yeah.
center field.
Third base coach.
I
Yeah.
send an application every start of the season, and the Rockies never get back.
What do you want your
videos
job
of
tough,
me
right?
catching pop flies.
Doug's third base coach pays,
Back them up. Back
pays
them up.
$1 million a year.
I'm just calling the signs in the dugout.
Signs in the
That's
dugout.
sweet, yeah, that's sweet.
That pays $1 million a year. What is it?
I want to be center field.
Center fielder?
Yeah.
That pays probably like $35 million a year.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
No
Yeah.
worries.
I send the runner every single pitch. I'm very aggressive.
dude.
Aggressive.
Dan Campbell of baseball.
And he could, when he retires from football, I will hire Dan Campbell to be the manager of the Rockies.
Great.
Nice.
And
And
JJ's
it'll be a
dad.
cool father-son.
Yeah, I love that so much.
Yeah, that's
Me and my
beautiful.
dad are gonna have a cool time on the Rockies.
Okay, what would you guys do?
I'm buying us all jet skis.
That's massive.
I'm buying jet skis.
Four of
man.
us, or all six of? Like who's all?
You buy a lot of jet skis.
The coolest jet skis ever.
Brothers jet
It's like
skis.
if quarterbacks buy their offensive
Doug's-
line like a
Doug's
scooter.
now about 10 grand in.
I'm buying 6 jet skis, man. Yeah.
The rest savings. Major
The
time.
rest is invested into a very
Yeah,
low
you're-
yield,
you're-
low risk bond.
Give me a 3% savings account.
Ramsey and Ahmed.
So I tied to Ramsey.
Yeah.
Tied to financial.
I will
PC.
pay off my
Ramsey.
extra principal.
Scholarship a couple kids at FPU.
Heck yeah.
So text me the color jet ski you want.
I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Can we do 2 color?
I don't know if they do that.
I bet they would for how much
How about
money you
purple and teal? Can I just do purple and teal?
Yeah.
All right.
I have $100 million.
Can you get one for
Can
my
you
dad,
do
Dan
2
Campbell?
ton jet skis? I bet they can. What are you gonna do?
Well, I have 2 answers.
No.
Pick the best. Pick the second best.
Okay. I would take my family on a trip all around the world. My kids, I have 4 kids. My
Oh
wife.
yeah, we forgot to introduce you.
We jumped right into that.
You
We were having
JJ,
such a blast.
talk
we'll
about
put
your,
up a family picture of you.
Yeah.
Right
okay.
now while you talk about your family.
Explain
Okay.
who's in your family. Who are we seeing in this picture right now,
Okay.
JJ?
Okay. So I'm the dad.
Okay.
That's me.
Nice.
And then Kate is my wife.
She's the mom.
She's the mom.
Okay.
I actually just told her the other night, this is for, I was like, I every day wake up and I'm like, I cannot believe this is really my life. That I get married to her. If I'm being sincere, I haven't
Yeah.
been sincere at all.
She is
Since
better-
the beginning
she's
of it.
better than you.
She's unbelievable.
Oh, yeah.
No
She's
doubt.
the
Yeah.
coolest person ever.
Yep.
Yeah.
We have 4 kids. We have Ezra and Milo and Ivy and Shia.
Ages are?
They are 8, 6, 4, and 2.
And they're just the best.
And they're the coolest kids ever.
Very
and
cool
so
kids.
I would, in a very sincere way, if I won a ton of money, I would take that group and we'd just go see it all.
And you
And
could
I'd call
meet.
Ethan.
Dude, if
to
you,
let
if
him know
you
where I
go to
was.
Lake Travis, feel free to borrow all the jet skis,
I appreciate
man.
that.
You're
You know,
welcome.
with that much money, I might take my jet ski with me.
Yep. You could. It's fine.
Dude, just take Ezra to every sports arena
Heck yeah.
in the
I've
world.
actually thought about if we could go to every NFL stadium.
Oh, that'd be cool.
My whole family. Maybe I'll do that
If
too.
you win the
Once
lottery,
we
you
get back
can.
to the U.S., we're going to every
Nice, man.
stadium.
Okay.
You should make a
You can
deal.
I
just
don't think
eat
that'll
all of them.
work in one season to see all those games.
You can
Make
do
a
this.
deal with
Maybe.
the
You can
Kelce
do all
brothers
things.
that if you can beat them up, they have to pay for you to take Ezra to every stadium for
Okay.
you. Or they have to get you tickets. They can get
That's
you tickets.
great. Maybe I'd skip Arrowhead because
Yeah.
I don't want to go.
No,
I
you
don't
don't
want
wanna
to
go
go
there.
there.
You don't want to get in a fight.
We'll do 31 stadiums.
Probably
Or I
freezing
guess 30
cold.
'cause
I already beat all of
LA's
them
one.
up, so
This is,
Yeah.
I can't believe to say this, but this is kind of taking a turn from where we were at.
So you have a family.
I have a family. They're the best. I live in Denver, where you guys all used to live when we all used to hang out and know each other.
right.
And I'm a worship pastor at a church up there. Yeah, Kate and I run the creative team, and she teaches, and we do all sorts of stuff at the church.
Yep.
And that's
So we all have the same boss ultimately.
that's right.
Yeah.
My
we
kid
we lead in worship.
God.
right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Guys, actually,
What's your least favorite worship song?
my least favorite worship song?
Yeah. And then
Probably, and I don't know if we should go here. 'cause
Yeah, that's a dangerous question.
Yeah.
So which one is it?
So which one is Travis Kelce's gonna be mad if you answer this question?
Please say one of Corey's.
oh, dude, how great would that be?
We can call Corey.
Shout out
you
Corey.
guys.
Cool
you can
guy.
fight Corey.
Love. I like
Of
him.
course.
Yeah, he's cool.
Yeah, he's a cool dude. Would you get him a jet
What's your
ski?
favorite worship song to lead?
If he asked for one, I would.
Okay, but only if he asks.
Sorry
Well,
to
yeah,
steal
you
your
don't have to
bit.
because you
You
do
can
not
go
ask.
fast.
My favorite worship song ever, and if I could only pick one song to lead for the rest of my life, it would be "Worthy of It All."
Nice.
Yeah, I love that song.
Who wrote that?
Some, I think his name is David something, David Breimer or something.
Barnes.
David Barnes wrote
Friend from college.
Friend from
Don't think
college.
it was him. Though.
big time. Ryan and I were talking about earlier.
King
when
David?
I love
Was
him.
it a psalm? Did
Miss him.
King David write it?
King David wrote Worthy of It All like 10 years ago.
What was his last name?
It's Psalms 2. David? King David?
Goliath.
Back then, you took
No,
the name of
wait,
him.
I got
King
mixed
David
it up.
Goliath.
You took your last name because of the strongest guy you killed.
Yeah.
So
David Goliath.
My name soon will be JJ Travis Kelce, but not killed, just fight.
Yeah, of course.
Good to clarify.
Yeah.
Anything else from you, Caitlin?
No, that's it. Thank you
Thanks.
for having me.
Thanks for being
Kayla.
back.
Yeah, I'm glad
Yeah.
to be back.
Let us know when we get sponsored if it happens
Correct.
in this episode.
Dude, okay, I
Correct.
had a dream that we went to the AG1 Athletic Greens headquarters
In New Zealand.
in New Zealand. They flew us all out there.
Are you going to go there on your family trip?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
I'll try to get the sponsorship through. For
Yeah,
you
yeah.
guys.
Check in and thank them for their
deal.
Yeah, thank them in advance.
Absolutely.
And ride your jet ski up to it.
Heck yeah.
So we cruise
On a
in,
trailer.
and
They actually have a river in the. It's like Willy Wonka,
dude.
but it's green. It's like
Yeah.
AG1.
it's all AG1. You can just
Rip into splash.
It's the AG1 Wonka factory.
Who's in charge of the Afterthoughts podcast sponsorship?
there's
You come over the green water.
fountains of
It's
AG1.
JoJo. I just beat up Travis Kelce and won the lottery. Sponsor him.
Let's get this sponsorship going. Who do I need to talk to?
I'm the center fielder for the Colorado Rockies. For goodness
My
sake.
dad is Dan Campbell. Get me the CEO.
We've really created an interesting life for you.
It's true.
Which it's very cool.
I'm into it. It's a pretty cool deal.
In my dream, we show up at the
Ryan, get
headquarters.
serious.
You guys, be serious. And the
prophetic
lady like
dream.
It's a prophetic dream.
the host brings us in to that and is like, you guys want anything to drink? Get you some water. And we're sitting there, and there's a one-way mirror into the room where all like the executive people of AG1 are in a meeting.
The C-suite.
And they're just watching the clip of us shouting out AG1 with the chipmunk voices. And they're, no joke, rolling on the floor.
That is so
like
sweet.
throwing things.
Yeah.
And the host comes
Probably
in
happened.
and goes, oh yeah, this is like their 12th time watching this. They love you guys. And then I woke up.
That maybe that
is
happened.
prophetic.
That really could have been a real thing that happened.
I like that.
If you could get the Afterthoughts podcast sponsored by anything, who would you have?
U.S. government.
This episode is brought to you by the government. We're a bunch of people who can't seem to figure anything out.
Transportation this week for throwing some money at us.
Yeah.
They can just make money, so they can just send it to you.
They can print money.
Yeah. This is getting too political.
Oh.
guys.
Yeah.
Oh, here
It's
we
an
go.
election.
It's an election season.
Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why I would do that is then we'd get those guys who really do know all the alien stuff on here.
Oh, yeah.
And your
This
podcast
is
will
a big alien guy.
for real. That's for real. Yeah.
Not surprising, but
yeah.
Wow.
Deep. And I've been deep before everybody suddenly is
Yeah,
like,
before
maybe they
before
are
it was
real.
cool.
Yeah,
he
exactly.
likes to look into.
I've been living this for my whole life, but
People don't watch this podcast for the serious content.
No.
They watch it because
as
it's
soon
the
as you guys get
funniest
serious,
thing
I
on
turn it
planet
off.
Earth.
I'm like, I do not
Yeah.
want to know anything to help me. What does that do for me? No, but I would get him on here,
Yeah.
and you guys would just skyrocket past Joe Rogan because everybody just wants to know what's going on. Then you don't need a sponsorship.
We have
You
a
sponsored
guest.
yourself.
Dude, just having an
It's
alien
an
as a
we have an
guest.
alien.
Yeah.
There is a theory that they're going to eventually bring an interview out with an alien, and everyone's going to be like, this is how they reveal it, that it's real.
Who's that theory from?
A lot of guys on TikTok.
Not a government,
Who
guys.
seems to be legit.
All right.
Sure, I believe it.
Yeah.
But I don't.
If you guys ever want to talk about that stuff, have me back, and I will tell you some stuff that I found
Yeah.
out.
Okay,
The
dude.
Let's do it
alien
next week.
episode.
Me and the dude from
Once we have a
Blink-182
bigger
tumble on.
audience, then we'll do it because we need.
Yeah.
That's something
It's
that
shaky
more
ground
people,
right
more
now to
people,
go alien.
more people deserve to hear about. Is what I'm
I
saying.
love that.
Yeah, the truth needs to be out.
for you guys, but I get what you're saying.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thanks, man.
No, I appreciate
you
that.
get us.
Thank you, man.
Well, we got a couple minutes to go.
Yep. And some good stuff to say.
The question is,
Hey.
do we attempt to talk about something real? Is everyone on board with that?
Oh, yeah.
let's go
I think we
serious.
Not that
should.
this hasn't been real.
No, let's do
Let's
it.
go serious. All
we-
right.
I
Well,
I think we should do
do
it.
that. We've
Ryan,
done that before.
Ryan preached a great message this past weekend.
Yes, thank you.
Good job, Brian.
Called
It's not the end, it's the messy middle. And
Yes.
the whole idea, so often in the Christian walk, we're going to have good days and bad. And during the bad days, we also have an enemy who loves to whisper in our ears that God is done with us, or that we're too far gone, or that we're never going to get past this fill in the blank, this habit, this anxiety, this whatever it is. And the reality is that's just not true. Philippians said in Philippians, Paul says that he who began a good work in you will be faithful to bring it to completion. And so really like an anthem for the person who's going through it right now, wanting that line to be something you preach to yourself. Hey, this isn't the end. This is the messy middle. So get back up and keep going. So that's where I took it and called the church to, in the middle of the mess, to pray earnestly. And to not spiral, but just take a step in the right direction and to remember on repeat who God is. So that's where we took it.
I'm not kidding. I had 4 pastoral meetings today, 3 in person, 1 over the phone, and all of them were in some form of messy middle.
Yeah.
And so it just seems like there's some themes happening right now. And so speaking to that place on the journey where you can't see the starting line anymore, but you don't see the finish line either.
Yeah.
And you wonder, is this even working or is this worth it? It is worth it. And so that was I feel like that's very timely for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Well, since you're here and we get to share stories all the time, you've been, over the past couple of years, going through a messy middle, so to speak.
Yeah.
Would love to hear your thoughts on that and what that's looked like for you, because I think also for a lot of people, it feels in that like I'll never get out of this. The end will never come, or the next step, or whatever that is. And you've been there. So share a little bit of your story in terms of the messy middle.
Okay. So over the last couple of years, it's been, I'm not being dramatic in the stuff I say here. This is very real. And hopefully my hope now in having come through a lot of this is that it would be for the person in the middle. I just did it and you can do it. And it's not easy, but it's possible. Had the hardest couple of years of my life in probably the last 5 years, and had to come to a lot of self-realization and help from finally going and talking to a counselor, which is something I've avoided my whole life, but I always felt like something was wrong with me, which is true. But there was actually like a deeper hurt and just problem inside of me. And I couldn't figure out what that was. And it turned out I had like just a huge panic attack one day, and it kind of just upended everything that I'd been able to keep under the surface my whole life, and nothing fixed it this time. And I went to Kate, my wife, and just told her like, I can't get it. I can't figure out what's wrong with me. And so what I thought was that talking about it that one time was just going to end it. And then it turned into just years of digging through and figuring out that anxiety and depression had been something that I had always had going on under the current in my life and never put words to it because I couldn't figure out what was going on. And I didn't want to talk about it, and I didn't know how to talk about it. And it got super dark. It was a very dark season in my life, and it went on a long time. And the dude that I would meet with really helped direct my focus on how to take the next step to figure out what was going on. But I realized, and your message is so perfectly put together, is getting into the middle of that doesn't feel like there's a way out. And it doesn't feel like that you don't even know how you got in. You're just there. And I would wake up and I came to the point where I was like, why was I born? Like I was having those kind of feelings of just like, why God? Like, because this started when I was really young, when I was a little kid, and having to piece and trace back just everything that had kind of toppled into this place that I was able to carry for 32 years or whatever, to the point where I couldn't take it anymore. Shifted my life to a very difficult season where everything in my relationship with the Lord started to rise to the surface because it's all I had. And I think I can say and am a testimony of you can get through it because I can see that I'm coming out of it now. But I think what the Lord has done through that is move me to the place where the only thing I have in my life that I can depend on is Him. And it's a really difficult place to be. If that sounds like, oh, how cool, but it's just stripped everything off of me. And being a person in ministry, being a dad, being a husband, like it has challenged every piece of who I am to the core to choose to keep going and then recognize He's the only way and that I don't have to do it myself.
How did you reconcile that? Because I know also during that time period, you had a lot of faith crisis in a way of like, who is God?
Well,
is He, who I thought He was?
I mean, I think, well, there's a lot here that we could talk for a long time.
Don't worry about
Go, man.
This is good. This is valuable. Very valuable.
We grew up as Christian kids, just knowing Jesus. And when I was a teenager, sorry, my nose is running.
it's the altitude drop.
Yeah, it's crazy. Sea level is nuts, guys.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
You don't need to drink
It's
for
the
5
salt.
days.
It's the
Water. You
salt.
don't
That's
need
right.
it.
That's
Yeah.
sick. I never drink water anyway, so
You
it's not a
breathe
big
it
deal.
in.
It doesn't matter, dude. I think, like, not being hyperbolic, I came to the point where, as a worship pastor, I was like, what do I actually believe? Like, are you actually real? But what had happened is, a couple months before this all happened, I have always, as I've grown in my faith and my relationship with the Lord, had a great ability. This is just, he speaks to me in a way that I can just pretty normally hear him. And he gave me this vision of myself about to turn a corner to lead worship for something. And I don't know that I still know exactly where that is. But he said, in order to get to where I want to take you, you have to go through it. You have to finally deal with this stuff. And I took it as, I was listening to that Elevation song, Sea of Victory. And I remember I stepped on this place in the sidewalk in front of our old house. And it was this exciting moment for me because I was like, he's finally going to heal me. I'd been praying forever he could just heal whatever was wrong in my brain. And then it wasn't that. It was everything but that, in the sense of, if he was really going to heal me, he was going to walk me through all of the darkness and all of the heaviness and all of the stuff that no one could fix except for him. And in the process, I came to the point where I didn't want to believe. I didn't want to be a part of it. Leading worship became something I did because I had to, but it was hard for me because I didn't know how to grab a hold of what was real. And I finally went to my pastor and just told him, like, I don't think you should have me do this anymore because I don't know what's wrong with me. And he said, the best thing you can do is keep singing the truth over yourself. And I was like, that's not what I wanted you to say.
Yeah.
And he said, and the best thing you can do is go through this and be a testimony. And in the middle of all this, I got physically healed. I had a very strange thing happen to me, and my hands and my feet just like gave up. Like, I couldn't hold our baby. Went through this horribly painful time and went to a healing prayer thing with the least amount of faith I've ever had in my life, and was healed. And I didn't even register what had really happened to me. Like, I knew that I was healed and I knew God had done it, but I was so deep into being lost and what was really going on. And I started to explain, I'm wrapping this to a point. I started to explain to the guy I was meeting with, I've read the Bible every day. I wake up and I have a quiet time and I pray and I read the Bible and I do all these devotionals. I do all this stuff and nothing's fixing it. And he goes, you're not spending time with God. You're manipulating God. You're trying to manipulate God into fixing you. So tomorrow, don't have a quiet time. And I was like, I can't do that. Yeah. Like, this is my lifeline because it's on me to do it. I have to do it for God to help me.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, don't do it. And so I didn't. And through that process, the Lord has simplified him and my relationship, where he's my father and we hang out and we spend time, or I have something, 4 kids, things are going on, and he's there and I can depend on him only. Yeah. So that's all I got. But it's not on me to do enough, to strive enough, which is how I've always been. Major striver. And now there's just a lot more space. And a lot more quiet.
Man.
Yeah.
Was that like all of a sudden the first time you tried not having
No.
that quiet time, or?
Can I tell a story?
Please.
Tell it.
Okay.
I mean, we spent 10 minutes on the Brian. Dang it, bleep that out again. The Brian story. So I think we could probably spend some time
guys.
on the breakthrough of
I'm
your
not
life.
crying.
Your life. Coming out of the dark night of your soul.
Yeah,
I
this
think
is
we should probably.
more important.
So, I walked away from having quiet time and then stopped talking to God altogether for a long time, actually. It was, I can say now, like, he simplified it and we came back around, but the story of how that happened is actually, maybe to me, like, I was physically healed and that's a miracle, but I think this story in the same breath, to me, these two things walk hand in hand with what the Lord did in my life in this time.
Okay, when you say a long time,
Yeah.
do you mind specifically saying what you mean by that?
I think if I can, I mean, the dark night of my soul was probably the first, or not the first, but from when I was like 7, and this broke down when I was like 32.
Okay.
And so for that whole time, and I know, like, I did a great job of acting like I was fine. So
Yeah.
I think when this all came out, some people in my life were like, what are you talking about?
Right, yeah, okay.
There's never been something fine inside me. Like, I've always been okay and things are good and my life has been amazing, but I've always had this broken place that has been really broken. Anyway, yeah, so then from about 32, I'm about to be 37 in 2 weeks-ish. And so this has been that span of time of like the real difficult middle.
Wow.
So the Lord I think now looking at him the way that I can see it all, I took a step back when this dude was like, stop trying to manipulate him and just back off. Like, he loves you. Just be cool. And I wasn't. And I was mad and I was hurt and I was confused and I blamed him. Yeah. And I was like, why did you make me like this? Why did this happen to me? I went through everything that I've pastored other people out of, you know?
Oh, yeah.
And I think that's something that pastors don't talk about because we're always so, everyone's got this view of you that you have to be a certain way. And I just don't want to be like that because I am just another person in the room that loves Jesus and needs him as bad or more than anybody else in the room that I get to lead.
Good.
And I've learned a lot and I've gained a lot, but like, it's only him. So he started, I would wake up and I love waking up really early. I'm obsessed with it. I just love it. If I could get up at 3 o'clock in the morning every day, I would do it.
That is true.
But anyway, but sleep helps actually with having a hard time inside
Turns
your
out.
head.
Yeah.
That is true.
Still don't sleep a lot, but more than I wanted to. Anyway, I started hearing the Lord say to me when I would be up in the morning making coffee, why don't you just make your cup of coffee and just sit down at the counter with me? And we were in between moving and all this stuff, so we were in this house, and I just never would do it. I'd be like, no, I don't want to. And he'd try again the next day. I'd be like, I'm not going to. And this went on for months. I would wake up every morning and I'd hear the Holy Spirit and I just would ignore it, the invitation. And so we moved into the house we live in now, and I kind of, the beauty of coming to the end of yourself is something that I'm really enjoying because I've fully recognized the end of myself.
Wow.
And it was through the anxiety I was struggling through and having to deal with all this was just like, I would just wake up in the middle of the night paralyzed in panic attacks. I'd be like trying to wake Kate up and my arms would just be like, I just couldn't move. And so it was really like heavy stuff. And then like throughout the day, like just, there was never, I would say to the guy I was meeting with, I just hate being inside of myself. Like I just can't get away from myself. I can't get away from this. So it kind of came down to a point where one night I just couldn't take it. And I was like, Lord, like I will do it. Like I'll wake up in the morning tomorrow and I will make my coffee. And I had a terrible attitude about it. It's like when you tell your kids, like, before you go play, you gotta do your homework. Like, fine, I'll do my homework, but I will scribble the whole thing and I will do this as fast as I can. And then I'm gonna go do what I want.
I'll wake up in the morning.
Exactly.
I'll make my coffee.
Exactly. It took that tone with the Holy Spirit, which is super cool of me. So I woke up, and as soon as I woke up, it was like the Holy Spirit had been waiting all night for this. And he's like, and he said, go downstairs, make your coffee, and sit at the counter. Just do that. And so I go downstairs, and I'm making my coffee, and I'm like, I should get my Bible, because what if I need to read the Bible? And he's like, I didn't say get your Bible. I said, just go sit at the counter with your coffee. I was like, oh, I should get my iPad, though, because what if you tell me something I need to write down? Please don't get your iPad or put your phone where you cannot look at it. My gosh. And just sit down at the counter with you.
So good.
And this is
I picture the Holy Spirit like, oh yeah, it's actually a good call. Get your iPad.
Oh, I forgot about the iPad.
Good
get your
idea.
phone. It would be sweet.
That's-
Actually, watch a few TikToks before we talk. And so I was like, okay, like I won't get anything. And I sit down, and as soon as I sit down, he says, now that you're gonna listen and be obedient to this, get your Bible. And I was like, and it was almost like I needed to be parented for a minute of like, you've had a really bad attitude and we're gonna take step by step into this.
Yeah.
And so I went and got my Bible, and somewhere in the gospel, he's like, and the Lord has spoken to me directly, like, read this passage, and it's been a cool thing. And so I hear that and I open it, and it's the story of the woman who's with the issue of blood. Yeah. One of my favorite stories in the Bible. And I start reading it, and I'm going through it, and there's this one verse that the Lord highlights. And it's one of those verses that you could just pass right by, like a few words that just happen to get connected. But it had something to do with him looking for her. And as soon as I got to that place, I read the story to get the whole context of why it was this verse of him looking for me. He was just like, I've never stopped looking for you. And I just started crying. And I was in that as if I was her reaching out for him. And I came to, and I was leaned over the counter with my arm out, and I was just saying, like, if I could just touch you, Jesus. If I could just touch you, Jesus. If I could just touch you, Jesus. And he was just like, I'm right here. And in that moment, it was like all of the hurt and all of the messy, all of the middle, all of it didn't matter anymore, because the perspective I had was, he's working.
Wow.
And he's been walking alongside me when I didn't see it. And all I've needed the whole time was just to turn away from everything else that I could try to pack in to make it okay for me, and just reach out to him and touch him. And I did it, and it all just started turning toward him and away from the darkness. And my anxiety started just melting off. And like, I'll be real, like, it's not gone,
Right.
but it's gotten better, and it's gotten better, and it's gotten better the more I've just chosen to reach toward him.
Wow.
And let that be it. And let him be God, and him be my father, and not try to do this for him or explain it to him. Just let God be God.
Yeah.
Gosh.
The most jarring thing for me, because I'd overcomplicated my faith my whole life.
Yeah.
And he was like, all I needed was for you to just reach out and touch me. And here I am.
That's it, man.
That's awesome.
That's so beautiful.
So for somebody who maybe is in the place you were at, what would you say to that person that's like, I'm in that messy middle and it's cool to hear your story, but mine feels different, like there's no way out for me kind of thing?
Yeah.
What would you say to that person?
I guess there's never anything heavy enough or dark enough that you should give in or give up on that, on what the Lord's doing in your life. And as much as it feels this or that, those are just feelings. And it's not truth.
Yeah.
And you think of that Waymaker song that everybody loves to sing at the top of our lungs, but even if you don't see it, he's working. Even if you don't feel it, he's working, is actually true, and I've seen it happen. I've lived it. And it's not just a cool thing to say. It's not just a Christian cliche. But the thing that it takes is for you to trust that rather than have to see it. Trust that rather than your feelings. But that there's hope and there's life even when it feels like you're blacking out. And he is better than the good you know of him. And he will prove that time and again.
Dang. What does it look like now? Like you said, your anxiety is not like it just evaporated that day. You still have that come back. Practically, what does that look like for you as you've kind of come out of this messy middle into a new era of your life?
Yeah, I think what I said of like the recognition, and this has been in the past couple of months where the Lord's kind of started to highlight to me, like, I had to get this all out of your way. So you just depend on me. Yeah. This is about dependence. This is about trust. This is about me actually being your father. You're not just calling me that as a name that you say at the beginning of a prayer. And perfection has never been the plan for you in this part. Only Jesus is perfect. And you're not going to get the perfect fix, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's heaven. And rather than try and strive to make yourself perfect or get it enough, take it in the moment and find yourself depending on me rather than leaning into the anxiety or trusting me rather than believing the lie.
Yeah.
You know, I think when you guys said at the beginning, like in the middle, the enemy's going to get that voice in there.
Yeah.
Of course. And the more you find the truth, the more he's going to want to try to divert that in whatever way he does it.
Wow.
Or the well-worn path of your life is going to try to pull you back again.
Yeah.
But it's been that taking the step toward depending on God and not just saying I do it. Trusting God and not just saying I do
Dude.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you said experiencing the joy of getting to the end of yourself.
Yeah.
I think that's so beautiful, man. What a great line, because then you have a bad day or, you know, the anxiety starts to kick back in. You get to go, yeah, I'm experiencing this, but I know it was never on me
Right.
to begin with, you know?
Right.
Have you sensed coming out of this, how do you now see God different? Like, how is it shaped? What's something you've learned about God having gone through this that you can share with the rest of us who are back here?
I think, the stuff that gets in the way, the anxiety, and, you know, that's an example for everybody of all the stuff that we bring in and have our middles and all that stuff, right? But I think I've recognized him as the conqueror and how thin anxiety really is, how small that really is.
Oof.
And when it comes up, the more, I guess, practice I get with it, it's like, oh yeah, but I know the one that overcomes this, who overcame it, right? So you don't get to have that place in my life the way you did. and it keeps diminishing. And that doesn't mean it's just, eventually I do believe like there will be an ending to this in my life because I know that's who he is. I've seen him do this in my life in so many ways.
Yeah.
But I think I've recognized these characteristics of a God that always felt so distant. And I was just like, yeah, like if I can just get to him, when the whole time it was like, just touch me. Let me be the one. So I feel for my kids. You know, I equate everything to me being a dad with how he feels for me a billion times more than I could as a human. And I'm watching it happen as a guy in my middle 30s, late 30s now. But really aging out here, folks. But that fatherhood, and that I can really trust him and not just talk about it.
Yeah.
And I think that's a depth of knowing him that isn't just a label I can put on him. It's that place inside me that I can go to him, and he's the one that meets that place.
That's
How
so
has it
good,
changed
man.
how you parent, having gone through what you did? Now looking at your kids, Ezra's about the age when this kicked in for you in your life.
You know, I think Kate is a really brilliant person, and I think I have tended maybe to want to overcorrect on protecting my kids because I don't want them to ever deal through what I dealt through when I was little. And I want to say also, like, this was something I just held inside. This wasn't something my parents, piled on me or didn't care. I didn't know what to do with it, so I just didn't do anything except just harbor it.
Yeah.
But I think it has given me a clear perspective on the individual places my kids, in the ages they are and the people they are, that Kate and I get to steward and foster those places, but trust the Lord with them and recognize there's going to be difficulties, and there has been in different ways with them. As much as I want to just hold them in and never let anything touch them, I think more is, hey, let's see Jesus for who he is right now.
Wow.
Shia's 2, Ivy's 4, Milo's 6, Ezra's 8, and they know him and they love him and they pray and they pray for healing for people they don't know and things like that. And I think
That's such a wild story you were telling me earlier about just like being in the mall.
Yeah, as just like
praying.
go pray for that guy, and we're just like, okay, bro, like, but it's
Let's go.
Yeah, but I think like their faith and their love for him matters more.
Yeah.
Than the stuff that there again I can trust myself with. Man, I can trust him so much better. And in the same way, I know my parents trusted the Lord with me, and we all go through hard things.
Yeah.
But I think I have a perception and a desire to maybe zone in on places that I can see because of what I knew, and point them toward what will actually move that out of their way quickly. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Total.
And you can always be reminded of, just in the way that you were trying to make your way to God all the time. And he's like, I'm actually here. I've always been looking for you. That's obviously how you feel about your kids.
Oh, for
And when you
sure.
see them start to strive, I think it reminds me already with Zeke of like, the way I feel about him right now is I don't need him to do anything for me.
Totally.
I just want to be with him.
Yeah.
And I can help him whatever. So
Absolutely.
dang, that's awesome. You guys have any last
Man.
thoughts, questions?
No, man, that was awesome. I love the comparison between anxiety and God. You know, you even think about like the devil and God.
Yeah.
It's not like some duel
Right.
where we're hoping God wins.
Right.
It's not a competition.
Yeah.
You cannot make your greatest fears, you cannot make them small enough in your imagination next to God and have it be anything close to accurate.
Exactly.
It's just, yeah, I do. I remember, you know, at the end of Harry Potter, where
Oh, we had someone comment that if we could not do spoilers for Harry Potter anymore. She's going through it right now.
okay, then mute
Mute
this for 30 seconds.
part. We'll give a warning, but yes.
When Harry goes into the Forest to give up his life, and then he's kind of like in the in-between in King's Cross, and Dumbledore meets him, and he looks under this bench, and it's Voldemort.
Oh yeah.
And Voldemort's like
gross
this
little-
gross little like,
Very creepy.
it's like to be pitied, and it's kind of like hard to even look at. I feel like one day, like God will hold up like everything you've ever feared.
Yeah.
You'll see it behind all the smoke and mirrors.
Totally.
Everything you've ever been anxious about, and it's gonna be. And I just believe you'll have the ultimate perspective and say like, man, that's what I was like.
Yeah.
I was afraid of that.
Wow.
Yeah.
There's no comparison.
Nope.
There's no comparison.
Right.
It's like clouds covering the sun,
Right.
They don't make the sun go
Can't
away.
hold it, yeah.
And there's no comparison in size or power between some, even in Austin when it's been raining for 4 days. This is temporary.
Yeah.
And the sun is a trillion times more powerful.
Yep.
And it's there still.
Yeah.
Thank you, man.
Yeah.
For
Thanks
sharing.
Thanks for having me on this Afterthoughts podcast.
Oh, dude.
guys.
Yeah.
Can't believe
we
how
covered a
expensive
lot.
this studio is.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
This whole table is made of
Oh
cash.
yeah,
It is.
it's made of gold.
$100
They're
bills.
inside of it.
Yeah, the money's inside the
It's all
table.
the money for the jet skis.
Yeah. Excited to get our jet skis.
Yes.
Thanks for sharing your story.
Yeah, bro.
Between
So
your
proud of you,
between
man.
your sermon and your story, I believe and know that there are going to be people who get the push to
Yeah.
keep going.
Keep going,
Take a
man.
step, not spiral.
not
Keep
the
going
end.
through that messy middle and hear a story of somebody who's seeing the light on the other side
That's
of that.
right.
So
That's right.
it was not coincidental that you just happened to be coming to visit right when
cruising
we
through.
He
needed
just happened to be in Austin.
Wow.
paired
Just-
with this sermon, but
Yeah.
also it was the Michael Jordan episode.
That's right.
Yes.
That's great.
People call me the Michael Jordan of everything else but
a
basketball.
God wink.
Right? Is that what you said? We're gonna say?
The Michael, yes.
Yeah.
I was going to say that.
Thank
Michael
you.
Jordan of worship leading,
Oh wow.
Yeah.
No.
Yep.
parenting,
The whole-
fighting
whole
the
gambit.
Kelce brothers.
I will
Yeah.
take that one. Yeah.
To the Kelce brothers.
Do they listen to this?
Yeah, they
Oh,
love it.
cool. Okay.
You guys,
Travis
Hope
doesn't
you're
as
listening.
much,
I'm gonna
but
say my
Jason's
address.
Jason's obsessed with it.
thanks
Yeah.
in
Obsessed with
advance to our sponsor.
Yeah. Thanks
Yes.
to everyone.
I'm bringing my jet ski straight into your place.
Congratulations to the
Todd
Green
Helton.
River.
That's right.
And,
the Lions, right?
we'll get you back down here another time.
Great.
Yeah,
Let
please.
me know. Let me know.
Anytime, man.
Cool.
All right.
Thanks.
Hey,
All right, guys.
Share this with somebody that needs to hear that story.
Yeah.
And have a great week.